And we are live.
Live!
Sell me something, Danny.
Tell me.
What are you going to sell me?
Oh, sell you something.
Yeah,
I'll
me
sell you,
something.
sell you this pen. It's a Bic though. I know you're not a fan of Bic, but yeah, it does the trick.
Say I'm not a fan of Bic. No, all I did was ask on my story, what do people prefer?
Yeah, that's true. Although I don't know if you get this right, but different pens make you write differently. So
You do.
I do love a nice looking pen. Like if someone had a really fancy pen, I'd be like, wow, that's a nice pen. But this gives me the best handwriting, the neatest handwriting.
It is amazing. Sometimes a crap pen does for me. I love loads of different styles of pens. It depends what I'm doing, what I'm writing.
Yeah.
I particularly like, and you can't find them often, but I particularly like a drawing pen.
Is that the one with it's like really heavy ink, like felt tip almost?
Yeah.
Like calligraphy.
Hmm.
Yeah.
My grandma could do. My grandma, I never call her grandma. My gran has got
My grandma.
Lovely calligraphy handwriting, very flowing.
Oh, I love that. Mine is small. People say I have small handwriting.
Well, small handwriting is good for saving the planet, Danny.
Doing my bit. I'm doing my bit, saving paper.
My handwriting gets smaller when I'm trying to save space and stay on one page. You notice it goes like that.
Does it go like squiggly?
Yeah.
Also, it goes a bit skew.
And then you start dropping things off to try and keep it in. Anyway, pens. We're going to talk about sales, but yeah, sell me this pen. I saw one. So yeah, basically, Danny's been in sales previously, and I've been in sales all my life. So this is what we're going to talk about. But I think the reason for that, for me, Danny, if you're running a business or you work in a business, sales is the only department that brings in revenue. Every other department in a business is a cost.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody hates a salesman. Not everybody.
I think it's the stereotype of the sleazy carman, that a car salesman, isn't it, where he's got that haircut and he's just trying to ooze his way in and just close a deal. I think they've got the stereotype that there's just manipulation everywhere you go.
Yeah, and I think sales has progressed a lot in the last 10, 15 years. But you've also got, like influencers on Instagram, and everybody thinking they're a salesman and they're selling things they don't even believe in. But yeah, sales is a vital part. However, there's also loads of other areas of life that you need to become a salesman or a salesperson.
Yeah. Like when you go on a date.
You go on a date,
you're selling yourself.
You're selling yourself. And in a job interview, you're selling yourself. You just want something from a partner.
Yeah.
That you want them to, go to the shop for you to buy you the chocolate in the evening, so you don't have to get up and go out into the cold.
Yeah, you've got to sell it. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think sales is. I have obviously I'm a salesman. I'm branded as a salesman. In fact, Danny, when I'm dating and people ask me what my job is, and actually this is a lot more true now because it is my actual job title now. I'm an account manager, not a salesperson, because it's viewed, even when you're with dating, I find it gets a negative connotation.
Yeah, they kind of think like you're a cocky, or you just say things because you know how to sell, isn't it? So you know what will close the deal.
Yeah, supposedly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sales is a hugely important skill to have, and I don't think a lot of people go out and even look at that as an area to get better at.
Yeah.
you know,
First of
sales.
all, I think a lot of people are scared of the objections that come with it, or they don't feel confident in the product that they're selling, or they're worried about what people will say or what questions will fly back at them or anything that they have to deal with. So there is kind of that stigma, isn't there, where you think that like being rejected is the end of the world when it comes to not making a sale, but it's nothing personal, I always say.
Yeah. SW, 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 N.
Oh, stop doing this. What does
So,
that mean?
some will, some won't. So what? Next. That was on from a BBC TV program called The Call Center, where Ned was the owner of the business, and they were like your sleaziest, salespeople. They were
There's
like,
like them telesales people.
yeah, they were telesales selling like injury claims or double glazing, or they were selling the real products that people don't really need. And that,
Yeah,
I think a lot of people then tarnish all salespeople because everybody think every salesperson is selling them a product they don't need.
yeah,
Yeah, or if I wanted that product, I would have gone and looked for it. But quite often, it is a product that people need, and they just don't understand it. They need it, or they don't understand the benefit of it. Sometimes people are looking for that product and they've not found the right product.
yeah.
Um,
And
yeah,
it's all in the pitch as well. I think that like people also buy the person, not the product sometimes. Like if I come across as relatable, and I try to whenever because if I'm selling a gym membership, I like to find out the why people would want to be interested in selling in purchasing a gym membership. So I mean, if they walk into the gym, I want to know what brought them in there so I can find something that relates to them, and so I can work with that as well. So people like people who are like themselves. So you find something that's relatable, and you come across, they instantly feel comfortable in finding more about the product from you because you match your personality, if that makes sense.
mm-hmm.
That's my trick.
Well, salespeople are brought in to get people across the line. So when I was working for Virgin Media, there was a bit of research done. I don't know if it was internal, but in general, people, when they're looking at a product, the actual life cycle before they become a buyer is about 2 years.
Yeah.
For a fairly major product, it takes them about 2 years to get to the point where they do buy.
Yeah.
They might not have looked at that. They might have just thought about getting cable television or satellite television, or they might have thought about changing their broadband provider. And the salesperson is there that when they do show an interest, to get them across the line today.
To establish that kind of connection.
And salespeople are for the customer, not for the business.
Yeah.
Think of, as a salesperson, you have to think that I am here for the customer. I'm not here for the business. I'm not here for myself. Because a lot of salespeople are paid on commission, and they're motivated by that opportunity to do well. But sometimes I've noticed, I've been worked where there's somebody in a sales job that shouldn't be in a sales job.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's what happens with the customers. They meet a very good salesperson and they're very satisfied with that person. Then they meet a bad one who's not there for the business or the customer or even themselves.
Just puts
sometimes.
a bad taste in their mouth.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's so true. But in the gym world, sales are very important, obviously, because you need to get your numbers and you need to obviously, it needs to be profitable. But and I love sales, but for me the important thing is the member retention as well, because it's all good and well that you get people through the door, but it's keeping them that sometimes people often neglect. So that's why it is, you're right, it is for the customer, but the journey of a salesman doesn't just stop right there, especially in a face-to-face environment. You've got to always make sure that you're looking after your customers before and after the sale.
Yeah, and that the analogy for me with that is this is twice in 2 podcasts I've used a bottle analogy. In fact, I might have even used the bottle analogy with you the other day on stress as well, but I used
Oh
it last
yeah,
night. So it's maybe 3 times.
it must work for you though.
Yeah, so the bottles analogy for sales is when you're looking at existing customers is you can't just fill up the bottle. Sometimes you have to stop the leak.
Yeah.
And if you're running a business, are you bringing a customer on board? Because it costs you a lot of money to get a customer. If you're a business, there is a lot of investment in getting that customer. The marketing costs, the general day-to-day cost of the running of the business, the cost of the product then that you're selling them. And if you then lose them 3 months after getting them, you've probably not recovered that cost.
Yeah.
So you need to work really hard on when you get the customers, giving value. So your product always has to be of value to that customer. Are they going to use it? So there's only 3 reasons people don't buy, Danny. They're not going to use the product. The product is generally too expensive. They can't afford it.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're not the person that's going to use the product. So there's not enough of the product. They're not going to use it, or they can't afford it.
Yeah.
And so if there's any other reasons than that, and most people get put off from a customer who says, I can't afford it. Because a lot of customers believe that if they say they can't afford it, they won't get that will end up killing the conversation. Or they say it's not for me.
Yeah.
Great salespeople establish that before the customers even thought that they're going to need to give a reason, and they take those options away. So during the conversation, they'll say, so this is for you. And they'll say, yeah, it's for me. Cool. So when the customer gets to the end of the conversation, they can't go, oh yeah, it's from a partner. So,
yeah, you kind of block all the common objections along the way.
yeah.
But also, instead of looking at it from a price point of view, you go based on the value of it that will match them and bring that in. So that sometimes pricing, perhaps it might be a bit expensive for them at the time, but they see it's well worth purchasing.
The customers will spend money on something that they believe in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get asked a lot by people who go, how much do you spend on fitness? And at my peak, when I was seeing a physio once a week, seeing a PT once a week, seeing a triathlon coach once a week, having boxing lessons, paying for a high-end gym, and then putting all my investment back into my bike, running trainers, all that cost. When I was sat and worked it out, I was near £500 a month in my fitness.
But did you see the value in paying that?
But yeah, people are like, oh my God, how can you spend that? And I say, how much did you spend on your meal out? It's just redirecting the money.
Yeah.
I used to spend the same amount. So this is where the negative is. I used to spend the same amount getting fat, and I'm now having to spend double the amount to get thin. So to get fit.
Bloody hell.
So yeah, over my lifetime, it's cost me a lot of money, because I now need to spend all that money.
But it's worth it. It's well worth it, though.
I know if I want to do it for £10 a month, I can. But I like having the sauna, the steam room. When I think about them, because I like those things, I use those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the reason I use the gym is because I pay for a good gym. When I'm not paying for a good gym, I can just go to having a 9 out of 9 membership and not go. In which case, I've lost £10.
Yeah.
Not even used it. If a salesman can identify that with me, they can show me the right product.
And that's when the whole relationship comes along to establish that.
Yeah.
How important do you think following up with the sale is? So if someone says to you, I'll think about it, what would you say there? What would you do? If someone says, oh yeah, sounds great, I'm interested, but I'll think about it. How would you go about that?
First of all, I want to know what they need to think about.
Yeah.
So what have I showed you today that you're uncertain of? Oh no, I like it all. Fantastic. So you like the product. So if you were in a position then to make that decision and commit, the product's right. Yes. So what is the situation? So if the product's not right, so do you not like me? Have I not done a good job?
Is
And
it
they'll say,
me?
oh no, because I thought we were getting on quite well. No, you're great. Okay, great. So you're happy with me. So you'd be happy if I kept your details to give you a follow-up call. Yeah.
Now, do people genuinely follow up? Because I believe that a lot, and I mean a lot, and I think Grant Cardone says this as well, a lot of sales are missed because people forget or they don't follow up.
You've got to follow up all the time.
This is one thing I've always believed in, is follow up, and it works. I will nag the shit out of people.
And it's not about nagging, right? So it's about continuing to build the relationship. So I'll give you a good example. Customers are not ready to buy. When I was working at Sky, we're not ready to buy Sky because they were still in a contract with Virgin.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a great conversation. They're interested in moving. There's a possibility, but they just can't. They're tied into a contract. No, Sky's not going to buy them out of the contract. Virgin's not going to let them go for free. They're stuck in no man's land. The amount of salespeople I would let that customer walk away. And what I advise my team to do every single time, capture the details and phone them in a month's time.
Yeah, diarize it.
And you phone them in a month's time, even if they've said, I've got 9 months left of my contract, right? Situation might have changed. They might have moved. They might have decided that they've got some money in the bank and they want to pay to get out of it. But just a phone call just to say, just Alistair from Sky, just checking in. Just wanted to let you know the prices are still the same. So when you're good to go, we'll probably be able to do that same offer. You might have had another offer coming in that you might want to tell them about that might help them. But most of the time, it's just a check-in call.
Yeah.
And the great salespeople that had those conversations, they kept the relationship going and they kept the details. Quite often, Virgin would put their prices up. Now, this is a trade secret, okay? Virgin will put their prices up, and if they increase them by more than the standard average, and Virgin do all of the time, then you're entitled to get out of the contract within a short period of time.
Mm.
So we would get wind of this pretty early. Day one or day two, there'd be somebody out there would be like, I've heard this from a customer, they're putting the prices up. Those salespeople that had all those details made all those phone calls on those days and walked away with 3 or 4 times the amount of sales they normally would, because all they did was pick up the phone and go, James, it's Alistair from Sky. How are you doing? I've got some news for you that means you can get out of your contract with Virgin today.
Yeah.
I was telling them before Virgin was.
And make it as easy for them as possible.
And then making it as easy for them to join. And you were then the trusted salesperson because you had done everything you said you were going to do, and you got them then out of a situation they didn't want to be in.
Yeah. And as well, from that sale, you could get a referral. Someone, friends or family, could then say, look, I'm looking to change as well. So do you have anyone in mind? Oh yeah, actually, I know Alistair, or I know whoever. I'll give you his number. You can give him a call. And then word of mouth spread, and then you've got all of those referrals as well. So it's always good to just start their relationship from the beginning, because you never know, it could flourish into something very beautiful.
It could do. And that is, it's as simple as that. Keep a relationship with new customers, keep a relationship with existing customers. Yeah. And my advice to my sales team was always, if you speak to that customer, nobody else in Sky should sign them up. If I hear of one of your customers being signed up from the call center team, why has that happened? Because you've not built a good enough relationship. So, I'd say don't lose the opportunity. And how I told them about follow-up was, these guys are stood in the middle of a shopping centre trying to stop people and have great conversations with people. I'd say to them, you're looking for a needle in a haystack. When you find a needle, don't drop it.
That's so cool. That's actually very true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've got the needle in your hand, and then, oh
Yeah.
no, where is it?
All that work.
Yeah, I've now got to go back through the same process to try and find the next.
And what a waste of time.
Yeah. Whereas if you find a needle, keep it safe. And
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also like that message was the same. Was when you start a conversation, don't mess it up. Don't become too harsh. Don't become too pushy. Don't tell them something that's not true. You find a needle, make sure you keep hold of it.
In saying that, do you think, because when you do telesales courses and things like that, they teach you start with an open or closed question, follow a script, things like that. Do you believe in that whole process, or do you think something should be free flowing and you kind of find what works for you? Because I tried doing an open closed question and things like that, but I find that the more I am myself, the more confident I am, first of all, because I'm not reading something or thinking about what to say next. It's kind of just flowing, and I'm more productive like that.
I think you need to have checkpoints. Where am I in my conversation?
Yeah.
But it should never be a script, because that doesn't work.
Yeah. I think body language and tone and everything has to do with it as well. And there's other factors as well. But
Danny, do you and I have a good relationship?
Yes. No, we don't. I'm joking.
Yeah, shit. Okay. Danny just.
How many more days, goddamn? I'm sick of your face.
Yeah, and do we have good conversations?
Yeah, good chat.
So, before coaching, did I know you?
No.
Did I approach you out of the blue?
For coaching, yes.
Yeah. No, warm up, nothing. And it was just a chat, just a conversation.
Yeah.
There is, stages you want to be at in a sales conversation. I'm having a chat. That's the best bit. Have a chat, find out about the person. And through that conversation, something's going to come up, which I call our links.
Yeah.
The links back to where you want to be. And you use those links to move the conversation in that direction. And you're in control of the conversation. As soon as it overflips and the other person becomes in control of the conversation, you've lost.
You've lost it.
So you keep control of the conversation, but it's nice and relaxed, but you are the one that's diverting the conversation where you need it to go.
Yeah.
At some point, you're going to have to say, you know how you said that you were a bit overweight and you wanted to do some exercise? Let's go and have a look at the gym.
Yeah.
You're going to have to start to show them the product, show them the solution to their problem.
Without being pushy.
Yeah, you need to show them and you say, do you like it? What do you not like about it? What else did you need to see? Until that person's comfortable and where they are. And if they're not liking it, you also know to read the body language. And then you present a price which you think is of value, or is the only price you've got because it's dictated from above. And you say to them, have you seen enough value that matches that price? Because what you deem £10 is worth, like if you've only got £10 in your pocket, Danny, and you've still got to feed yourself for this week, spending that £10 in the gym is probably not going to be of value to you. But if you've got £2 million, £10 is maybe not going to be of as much value.
No, it's all relatable.
I might have £2 million and be harder to get a tenner out of me than it is the person who's not got very much. So you've got to read the person's body language. Have you showed them enough? Does it feel right for them? Will it fit then?
Yeah.
And then.
And also, do you want them as customers? Because it can be reversed. So yeah. you do want quality customers as well. It works hand in hand.
Absolutely. Are they going to be here in 6 months' time? Are they going to tell other people that they like it?
Are you going to be a headache?
Are they not going to be? Yeah, are they not going to be happy? And cause I've been complaining so much more because I've been oversold and underdelivered, or they've got very high expectations for what they're expecting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew when I joined the 999 gym, I walked in and there was rips in some of the seats. Half the equipment was locked off, not because of COVID, just because it was broken. And I thought to myself, you'd be really pissed off at this in your other gym, but you're completely okay with it. And I was like, yeah, because it's a tenner a month, Alistair.
You get what you really pay for.
I was like,
sometimes.
it's only a tenner a month. I'm not going to complain. Like, when you walk in there, the guy sat behind the desk with his feet up. He doesn't even look up from behind the desk to see who's walking in. I actually thought the other day I could cancel my membership and still walk in here and nobody would even know.
Yeah,
You know,
that's so
like,
true. But take take the condition of that gym into David Lloyd, and you're one unhappy customer.
precisely.
Obviously, it is the value in what
My
you pay.
expectations go up.
Yeah.
If I go for, burger and chips at my local takeaway, and sometimes the chips are cold, I might be like, oh, do you know what? I can't be bothered to get. I get home and they're cold, or I've forgotten to put onions on my burger or whatever. I'm not going to drive back, go in and be like, listen, mate, where's my, But if I'm in a, Michelin star restaurant and it comes out and it's, meant to be like, I don't know, firm and did look like the picture on the plate, and it's all falling apart and just been thrown on there because the chef's had a bad day, I'm going to go, mate, this is 40 quid. No.
100%, yeah.
So the cost does define people's expectations. But again, it's sales is also not the right job for everybody. So if you start your own business and you're not very good at sales, or you're not going to be that confident doing sales, maybe you need to hire a salesperson.
Yeah.
Or maybe you need to go and learn how to do it. Maybe you need to start doing, sales training courses because you're not very good at selling. Maybe you need to go and see a coach who knows about sales to help you out.
Plug.
But it's not for everybody. I can tell you that because I've taken on people who I think will be good at salespeople, and they're not very good salespeople.
Yeah, and that could be for many reasons.
It could be for many reasons. They're not motivated. They don't want to do it. They've not got the confidence. They've had a bad time and they've lost their confidence a little bit. But I've also taken people on who I'm a bit like, maybe not, and they turn out to be the best salesperson. People that have come from other backgrounds, and even they're not sure.
That was like me when I was. I've been here 4 years, but before I moved here, I had zero experience in sales. I thought I'll never get a sales job because it had this stereotype around it, and I thought I hate sales. I'll never ever do it. But I got thrown in the deep end. I needed a job when I arrived here. It happened to be selling hydraulic equipment, and it turns out it was actually quite good. And now all of a sudden it can be very exciting and challenging. It's a tough environment sometimes. You can put a lot of pressure on yourself for it, but at the same time it's also very rewarding as well.
I would say to anybody who's young, if you've never done a sales job and you're looking for a new role, go do a sales job.
Yeah, it's such good experience.
So much good
massive learning experience, and it's never ending. Sales process is never ending, so you'll take that with you in any industry you go, in any aspect of life. Even if you want to negotiate better rates for anything, for a hotel or clothes, you can spin it around and you're able to point out when someone is selling you something, and you can say, I know what you're trying to do. I know what you're trying to do. I do this. You don't do this. I do this.
And I'm not announcing that to them. You've got to be damn good salesperson for me. And I do, but the thing is about salespeople is we do buy as well.
Yeah.
We're quite easily to be sold to. But I'd recommend anybody to go and do sales, especially if you're going to run your business. If you're a business owner and you're not picking up the phone yourself to make sales calls, have a word with yourself, really. I mean, I say you might not be very good at it and you might need a salesperson, but get good at it. It's your business, is what's going to put money in your till.
Yeah.
And that is so important, especially for businesses right now. Cash flow. Keeping your business going. Whether you're Sally the hairdresser, Jimmy the PT, if you're running your business, if you're having to deliver presentations at work, there's probably an element of your role that might even be sales. Go and have a look at it. And if you're young, don't turn your nose up at doing door-to-door sales, or there are not many of those roles around at the moment, or standing in the sales centre doing charity sales or
outreach or leafleting or anything like that.
Definitely, it'll thicken your skin. It'll teach you how to talk to people, which I think is the most valuable skill anybody can have.
Yeah.
As my dad says,
oh,
here he is again.
There he is, my favorite part of the day.
As he said to my sister, whenever she would be like, and I always remember it when my sister wouldn't go in somewhere to use the toilet. When you're a little kid and you need the toilet, and your mum says, "Go and use that restaurant." You've not been in the restaurant, but sneak in and use the toilet.
I do that now. I'm kidding.
I do. As the one thing about a salesperson, when they work on the road, they know where the toilets are. They know where every single toilet. They know where the service stations are. They know where the public toilets are. They know where the coffee shops are. They know that there's toilets in bookies. They know there's toilets in supermarkets. They know where the cafes are.
We should talk about this in Toilet Tuesday.
What was I going to say about?
We know where the toilets are.
They know before nobody know where the toilets are.
It teaches you.
Teaches you how to have a conversation. I was going to my dad.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There he is. He was there. So my sister would struggle to go into these places, and my dad, in his harsh Scottish accent, would say, "You've got a tongue in your head. Use it."
Ooh.
And it's so true. People shy from having conversation.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and asking questions. Just go and ask it. Just go and do it. Because if we can't communicate with other people, then the world's going to be an even lonelier place.
It's a bit of an issue, isn't it?
It is. If you can't say hi, good morning. You see, when you're out and about, I make it when I go out for my morning walk, if I start passing people normally, and I'm like, my head's not in the game, blah, blah, blah. If I pass 4 or 5 people, I'm like, hang on, what are you doing? You're not even speaking to these people.
I thought you asked them what they're doing.
No.
You pass someone, hey, what are you doing?
Sometimes I feel like I need to do that at the moment, Danny. Hey, do you live in the same house? No, but then I tell myself, you say good morning. Because, especially with older people, because I always think, what if nobody else is saying good morning?
Yeah.
And if you just smile and you say good morning, it makes you feel good as well.
It does make you feel good.
It just helps you engage the conversation. The next stage to that, Danny, is being able to stop the pretty girl that you say good morning to and ask her what she's doing for the rest of the day. But we're moving in that direction.
I want to see how that goes. Not for me.
No, not for you. You're not looking
for you.
Girlfriend.
No.
But yeah, so but it is like, if we can engage in conversation, I try to chat to the people in the supermarket when I'm at the till or whatever. I like to talk, so have the conversations. But sales, it's what makes the tills ring. And in this time when we're all worried about economy, salespeople will be the people that keep the economy going, because they keep the money moving. That's all an economy is movement of money.
Yeah.
And to keep that money moving.
We have targets. We have targets to reach. So be nice to us.
Yeah, definitely need targets. Be nice to the salesperson. They'll look after you if you look after them.
Oh. And on that note.
Nobody expected us to talk about sales, Danny, but hey, what a good topic.
I had to, seeing that I'm very busy selling. So
You are very busy selling. If you live in Epsom or the Epsom region, get hold of Anytime Fitness, and Danny will look after you.
I'll let you
look
go.
after her.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow. Who knows what time it will be? Danny's very busy.
But we'll be here, don't worry.
And I've got Italian lessons to learn.
Oh yeah.
Bevo l'acqua.
Ciao.
Ciao.